part of that model in the first year of just kind of listening to the owner was trying to understand, not unlike what kind of the exit map model was, what's the ideal exit for this owner, not just in the sale of the business. You know, I think that in the sale of a business, people often think, especially if they're not the owner, that the owner's biggest concern is a pot of gold, a pot of gold at the end
Right.
of the day.
Right.
And in my experience, that's not the case. I think, very much in line with kind of how the exit map model is set up. It's really about life after sale. So it is what is the sale of the business going to allow me to do in terms of resources, in terms of that pot of gold as an example. But is that going to allow me to do and accomplish what I want, whether I'm an individual owner or whether I'm part of a partnership, or whether I'm considering a partnership buyout, whatever the case might be. So, our process over 30 years from that perspective, is relatively unchanged in terms of it's really focused on listening.